We are here in the home stretch of year number 3 in our Madden 22 franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles. With just 5 weeks to go, the number 1 seeded 9-3 Eagles have a real opportunity to clinch a playoff berth very soon. Their first obstacle is the New York Giants, who have been ice cold, losing 4 games in a row and currently sit at a record of 5-7. So before we get to today's game, we do have another prospect profile on tap. We've looked at quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, along with tight ends so far in this draft class. If you'd like to check out the previous prospect profiles, those episodes are in the series playlist, which is in the description along with the playlists tab. Today, we're going to look at the hog mollies, the offensive and defensive lines. Building around the trenches is very important. We know that, and we do have some holes on both the O-line and D-line. We have some young players on the offensive line who I like. Tyler Palumbo, Landon Dickerson, Fletcher Luce, and Marcus Crum are all strong building blocks. But with 35-year-old Jason Kelsey, 34-year-old Brandon Brooks, and 33-year-old Lane Johnson, it's clear that we need to get a little bit younger. I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of those older offensive linemen retire. It's a good left tackle class featuring Texas A&M's Clayvon Samba, who is projected to go in the top 5. We're not going to have a top 5 pick most likely, so we're not going to get him. So I want to look a little bit down the board here, and I am intrigued by Emmanuel Escalera out of Minnesota. This is a behemoth of a human being, standing at around 6 foot 8 pounds with great athleticism and lateral movement skills. He is a very talented player, probably someone who's going to go a little bit before the Eagles pick. I would say Escalera is around the projected range of pick 16 to 24, but maybe he falls or maybe the Eagles look to trade up. Strong athleticism, he's someone who can hold his blocks for a long time, and with his size at 6'8", 328, he could be really good. George Smith out of Miami, 6'8", 340, is also an intriguing player who could be a first-rounder. As we go down the board, a gem I really like is Joe von Klestenstein out of Oklahoma State. Von Klestenstein was born in Germany, immigrated to the United States when he was 10 years old. He happened to grow a lot, becoming an all-state offensive lineman in the state of Arizona. Ended up going to Oklahoma State, where he has been their left tackle since his true freshman season. He has unbelievably great athleticism. He has really improved this year as a junior, and although he's projected to go in this 5th or 6th round, assuming he tests well at the combine, I would expect him to probably be a day 2 pick, one of the big draft risers as we go forward. There is a ton of talent at offensive guard. In my opinion, the 2 best guard prospects so far in this series sit at left guard, and that includes Iowa's Kingsley Gore. Gore has been a very rock-solid player for the Hawkeyes, another player who possesses very good athleticism and has a chance to make himself really the set-in-stone number 2 offensive lineman at the Combine, only trailing Texas A&M left tackle Clayvon Samba, who we touched on earlier. Gore has great strength, good quickness. He isn't the most consistent, but we see splashes of him being an all-pro level guard very early in his career. If you're not a Gore guy, well, you might want to look at Frankie Bernard Swinton out of Missouri. Gore and Bernard Swinton are both projected to go pretty much around the same range, so I think it's a 50-50 toss-up on which one of them goes first. I don't think Bernard Swinton is as athletic as Kingsley Gore, so if someone is more likely to rise their stock in the offseason, it would be Gore. But I think Bernard Swinton is a little bit better day 1. Somebody who's going to step right in and immediately be a high-level starter. Somebody who could be a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro very early in his career. I don't think he'll be on the board for the Eagles to take. But again, maybe 1 or 2 of these really good offensive linemen fall. And in that case, it'd be very hard for Philadelphia to pass up. All of his grades that we've scouted on him are A's, which is kind of a sign. Demarion Drummond and Trayvon Ridley are among the other talented left guards here. We don't really need to draft a center, and that's kind of the good thing with this class because it is a little bit weaker at center with nobody overly notable to look at. At right guard, we do have a couple good players, including Penn State's James Harlow, another projected first-rounder. We have 3 projected first-round guards in this draft class, which is quite a lot, but it shows how talented these offensive guards are. I don't think Harlow is as good of a prospect as the 2 left guards, Kingsley Gore or Frankie Bernard Swinton, but I do think most years Harlow would be the number 1 guard in the class. It just happens that this year is really talented there. Harlow has pretty strong athleticism. He's been a reliable starter for Penn State over the past few years, and he is built like a tank. 6'5", 346. He is huge. Julio Tejedor out of Arizona. He's about 50 pounds smaller, but I think could also be very solid. More likely to go on day 2. At right tackle, Matthew Steele is more of an under-the-radar guy out of Washington State, but I do really like him. Now, if the Eagles want to pick him, they'll probably have to use their first-rounder to get him, but I don't expect him to go in the first round if it's not the Eagles. It does say he's projected to go in the first or second round, but I personally think his stock is more around the 40-ish range, so if the Eagles want him, he'll probably be on the board for the taking. Steele is someone who I think could play right and left tackle, good athleticism, good size. He hasn't been overly consistent on a snap-to-snap basis at Washington State. He's also a little bit small at 273 pounds, but if he can bulk up and really try to size up some of these bigger defensive linemen, he could be very good. Speaking of defensive line, we have a lot of talent here. Cleveland Ferrell, Josh Sweat, and Jabari Achabe play the defensive end spots, and then we have Fletcher Cox and Milton Williams inside. I think we really need to add some more beef with our defensive tackles. And Josh Sweat is a free agent at the end of the season, so we may want to add another pure defensive end. Demetric Gardner out of Illinois is very solid. Someone who's going to go way before our range. I really like James Jackson as well. Never really developed as a pass rusher at Westlake, but is a very good run stopper. The player who does really intrigue me down the board here is Michigan's Coleman Rasmussen, who is a very interesting story. So Rasmussen has been in college for 4 years, and he's already been at 3 different schools. Many of his previous coaches have red flags on his character, which is a big concern here entering the NFL, but the talent is arguably first or second round level. So Rasmussen originally went to LSU, had a great true freshman season, but was kicked off the team after violating team rules multiple times. He then ends up at Florida Atlantic, played pretty well there for 2 years, and then transferred to Michigan. However, many speculate the reason why he transferred was because he was going to get kicked off of their program, so he wanted to transfer instead to make himself look better. Again, the talent is absolutely there with Rasmussen, and if a scout can really avoid the red flag on his character, he could go quite high, but there are some legitimate concerns with Rasmussen entering the NFL. At right end, we look at not only the best defensive line prospect in the draft, but maybe the best non-quarterback in this entire draft class, Carleek McAllister out of Memphis. McAllister was a pretty high-level recruit, got big-time offers from SEC teams such as Texas A&M, Alabama, LSU, but decided to stay home at Memphis, and he has been a force since his true freshman season. He's recorded double-digit sacks in each of the 3 seasons he's been with the Memphis Tigers, and his coaches describe him as somebody who can change a culture. The Memphis defense has significantly improved since he's gone there, largely because of his leadership. He was named as a team captain as early as midway through his true freshman season, which is just remarkable, and the talent with McAllister is off the charts. If a quarterback-needy team is not picking number 1, I would expect Carleek McAllister to end up being the pick. Not as deep at right end, however, as we go to defensive tackle. The Eagles really need defensive tackle. Fletcher Cox is getting older. There's not a whole lot there other than Fletcher Cox. And I really like Niles Onuwalu out of Michigan. Onuwalu, along with Coleman Rasmussen, who we talked about earlier, have formed one of the best dynamic defensive line duos in the country. Onuwalu doesn't put up the same pressure, sacks, or tackle for loss numbers that his counterpart Rasmussen does, but he's projected to go way earlier. One, because he doesn't have the character concerns, but also Onuwalu has been such a consistent force for Michigan since he joined the program as a freshman. Onuwalu's been double-teamed all year, and it hasn't really mattered. He's still been able to avoid blocks. He's been able to make plays in the run along with the pass game. If the Eagles can land him in the first round, that'd be a big hit. It's a pretty deep class defensive tackle, too. I like Quentin Ball and Ode Obe as potential first-rounders. And then down the board, a really interesting player to look out for is Quintavious Zephra out of Utah State, 6'9", 380. He is super raw, but has a ton of upside. So that concludes the prospect profile for offensive and defensive linemen. Let me know which prospects you guys like down below in the comments as we now focus on our game here with the New York Giants. We are going to talk with offensive tackle Lane Johnson, who of course contemplated retirement earlier in the season, and he's talking about how he is now all in, which is a big deal. Lane Johnson really has not played very well this season, so hopefully now that he has really gotten himself together, that he'll be able to play well. The Giants are ice cold. We're going to give a smug response to the media. We're going to trash talk our division rivals a little bit. I think that's going to make our players a little bit more antsy, want this game a little bit more, because it is a big interdivision game that could really determine seeding. We are currently the 1 seed, but not by much. The Detroit Lions, who have won 5 in a row, are right on our tail. They're only 1 game behind us, and they are quickly approaching. But if we continue to hold the form, we should be able to get the number 1 seed. With our 5 games left, 3 of them are within the division. We play the Giants, and then we play Washington twice. So, of course, the Giants are led by rookie quarterback Anthony Cortez III, picked 2nd overall. He played very well the first time the Giants played us, but New York has not won since that game. They've lost 4 in a row with their previous win in Week 8 against us. I want to focus on stopping the run because Saquon Barkley ran for almost 200 yards on us. And then offensively, the focus will still be running the football. We ran it really well last week against Seattle. Tazewell Hubbard scored 3 touchdowns in this game, which matched his total for the entire rest of the season. So if Hubbard can have another big performance, Rosemont St. Clair as well, then we could be sitting pretty. As we head to Lincoln Financial Field, the ice-cold 5-7 New York Giants, who have not won since their previous matchup over a month ago against the Philadelphia Eagles, look to get back on track here. If the Giants want to make the playoffs, they have to be almost perfect down the stretch, and that starts with a win today against the projected number 1 seed in the NFC. As for the Eagles, they have a chance to get double-digit wins. That would be the first time in this series that we would reach wins in the double figures, which would be pretty exciting. 10 wins really sets us up well for a playoff spot, even if we collapse down the stretch. Again, just like last year. So, we'll see what happens here. If the Eagles can get another victory against their rivals, or if the Giants can stop their long losing streak. So the Giants will open up with the ball first as we get a look at Anthony Cortez and company on the first play of scrimmage. He connects with Mecole Hardman, stiff-arming by multiple defenders. There he goes down the sidelines, wrapped up but not before gaining 54 yards. Quite the start for Anthony Cortez and the Giants offense. A big gain of 54 for the speedster Mecole Hardman. And New York is quickly in the red zone just a minute into this game. On first down, a dot from Cortez to Hardman for a touchdown. Well, that was a quick start. The Giants are on the board. Mecole Hardman with the score. 2 big catches on that drive for Hardman, and it's now 7-0. Not really the start the Eagles wanted, but they're going to try to answer back on offense as Tazewell Hubbard gets the spin move, gaining around 20 yards. Hubbard is coming off by far the best game of his career last week against Seattle with 3 touchdowns. Hopefully he can keep that production up today. On first down, it's Rosemont St. Clair who makes a nice play after the catch. He brings it to the 8 for a gain of 18 yards. So although the Eagles' offense has gone down the field a little bit slower than the Giants, they, like New York, are moving it down with no problem as Devontae Smith on first and goal will score the touchdown. So the Giants quickly drive down the field, score a touchdown, and the Eagles march right back. We could be looking at an offense-oriented game if both of these units continue to play this well. So the Giants have it back, coming off a very strong first drive. Anthony Cortez had a few very impressive throws, particularly for a rookie. He's on 2nd and 11. Cortez connects with, this time, Kenny Golladay with a nice little juke move. Galladay's not known for his ability after the catch, but he brings it to the 47-yard line. Cortez has only thrown 3 passes, but he's getting close to 100 yards on the day. 3rd and 9, Cortez goes short up the middle for Saquon Barkley. He gets the first down, and the Giants are continuing to have no problem moving it down the field, but it hasn't been the run game, it's been the pass. Anthony Cortez has been dotting up this defense as we have the 3rd and goal. Read option, Cortez is stuffed. Deshaun Elliott read the play perfectly. AC3 loses 4. So, despite another really good and really quick drive, it will only be a field goal for the New York Giants as they try to make it a 10-7 ball game. The kick is good from 23 yards out. So the Giants don't get in the end zone, but they do regain the lead as we are here in the final play of the first quarter. 3rd and 8, Jalen Hurts trying to run for the first down, and he somehow does. What a great job by Hurts to outrun Quincy Roche and get enough yards to keep the drive going. So that will conclude the first quarter. Offense, offense, more offense. If you like scoring, if you like offense, this has been the game for you. Into the second quarter, 3rd down and 2 for Philadelphia. It's a handoff for Tazewell Hubbard. He tries to cut to the outside. and that proves to be a mistake as he is wrapped up by Jabril Peppers. Dalvin Tomlinson, the former Eagle, is hurt on the play. He was traded from Minnesota to the Eagles last year at the deadline. Didn't really work out, and he returned to his original team, the Giants. As on first down, Cortez is sacked by his former college teammate, Jabari Achabe. Little Westlake on Westlake crime. Achabe's gotten at least one sack in 4 weeks in a row, and he has continued to turn into an absolute game changer on this defense. 3rd and 7, Cortez with a strike. Hauled then by Mecole Hardman. If you remember, the Eagles targeted Hardman in the offseason. They offered him a big contract. He obviously decided to sign with the Giants, and he has taken his aggression out on Philadelphia today. Now Sterling Shepard with the catch, gains 15 yards. Cortez is 10 of 11 for 171 yards and a touchdown. He has been unreal today, truly looking like that generational quarterback prospect that he was dubbed at the beginning of draft season as he gets it to Barkley, who's not quite in the end zone, tracked down by Jabari Achabe at the 1. Now 2nd and goal at the 4. Wide open in the flats is Evan Ingram. I'm surprised he didn't drop it. The Giants will make it a 2-score lead. Another great drive from Anthony Cortez for 3rd, and although AC3 has struggled for the Giants in recent weeks, he looks like a superstar in this game. Jalen Hurts runs out of bounds while scrambling. That play is the epitome of the Eagles this entire game, and now they need to answer on 3rd and 14. Hurts goes deep, connects with Devontae Smith, who gains 19 yards and runs out of bounds. Devontae Smith continues to be really impressive on the contested catch, which is insane for someone his size. Tough throw, hauled in by Chase Claypool for the first down. 3rd and 9 now. The Eagles still have all 3 timeouts as Hurts misfires. Tykeem Keon was open, but the Eagles weren't able to get the first down, and they decided to punt it. An interesting call there. We'll see if it pays off. As on first down, Cortez under a lot of pressure. He is sacked. A big play there for the defense. It looked like that was Josh Sweat who brought down the quarterback. Unfortunately, Cleveland Ferrell is hurt, but the Eagles will get a stop there. But now we're down to about 20 seconds and 1 timeout. The Eagles need a really big play. Hurts lobs it for Devontae Smith. He brings it all the way to the 8-yard line. What a throw, what a catch. The Eagles call their last timeout. There's only 7 seconds now. Philadelphia is going to go for a quick play in the end zone, and if they don't get it, kick a field goal. Hurts breaks the sack, connects with St. Clair for a touchdown. What a play by Jalen Hurts, single-handedly giving the Eagles the touchdown by breaking the sack. One of the biggest offensive plays of the year, in my opinion. An unbelievable job there by Hurts to not only evade the pressure, but connect on the money for a touchdown. I know Jalen Hurts hasn't been perfect this year, but I feel like he deserves a lot more credit for how he's played for moves like that, which put us back in the game, only down by 3 points. Not to mention, we do start at the ball in the second half. So the run game has been very good for us, and we have stopped the run on defense. So because of that, I really want to focus on the pass for both sides of the ball. I think I want to throw it more in the second half on offense, and then defensively, we have not been able to stop Anthony Cortez at all. So we kind of need to do that. 3rd and 10 for the offense. Jalen Hurts scrambling to the left side, going to try to run for the first down. He got it. Jukes out the defender, or at least tries to. He probably should have slid there, but he wanted to gain more yards. Didn't end up working out, but it's not really that big of a deal. 2nd and 10. Hurts scrambling to the right side. This time he does not evade the sack and is wrapped up by Quincy Roche, who has sent a ton of pressure. Again, Lane Johnson, although he is supposedly all in, is still a revolving door at right tackle. 3rd and 24. It's Goddard, who's diving backwards for whatever reason, only gaining around 6 yards. So that'll set up a really challenging field goal here from 58 yards for Zebediah Phoenix. 58, no problem, as he sinks it right down the middle, and the Eagles tied at 17. Zebediah Phoenix made a 61-yarder a couple weeks ago, I believe against the Giants, and now he hits one from 58. That one could have gone in from 68. So New York has it back. Big run here for Saquon Barkley. He gets around 18 yards. You know, maybe the Eagles still should have focused on stopping the run, because if that's a sign of things to come, and if Saquon Barkley gets hot, things could get pretty bad. 3rd and 10. The Giants go for a halfback dive up the middle. A very Giants-esque call as Barkley only gets about 2, wrapped up by Winston Johnson. That'll force a punt, and the Eagles have it back. 3rd and 3. Play action fake for Hubbard. Hurts goes to the left side, scrambling. Heaves it deep downfield. It is caught! Tykeem Keon with the catch of the year. A one-handed grab for the first down. Holy cow. First off, what a nice throw on the run. But goddamn, Tykeem Keon with hands of super glue, and he gets both feet in bounds. An unbelievable move by Tykeem Keon. Hang that photo in the Louvre. Just a beautiful move by Tykeem Keon, who's been quiet today. That's his first catch of the ball game, but it is a big one. 3rd and 7 now. Hurts again for Keon, who again drags both feet in bounds. He needed 2 hands to catch it that time, but he does haul it in. It has been a great third quarter here for the Eagles. Ever since that last-second touchdown in the first half, things are really going their way. St. Clair finds the hole, strolls into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Philadelphia Eagles take the lead late here in the third quarter. The Eagles have scored 17 unanswered points. It really looked like the Giants could have blown them out, but Philadelphia has responded in a big way as they lead by 7 points with just 1 quarter to go. We'll see if the Giants can pull off the comeback, if Anthony Cortez and company can get back into a groove, as it is a 3rd down and 8. Cortez looking to throw it up the middle, connects with an open man. It's Kenny Golladay who brings it to the 44, wrapped up by Joko Onwosu. A nice gain there for Golladay, who's been overshadowed in this one by Mecole Hardman, but he still had a couple nice plays. Saquon Barkley is in the zone, keep in mind, is wide open on the left side of the field is Evan Engram. Literally, there is nobody on either team on that side of the field. The Eagles just chose not to cover him. I guess they would hope that Engram would have dropped it, and, well, they didn't get so lucky. 3rd and 9, deep shot for Cortez. It's broken up. Great job by C.J. Thomas to track over to the football. 3 of Cortez's incompletions have been either deflected or caught out of bounds by C.J. Thomas. He just has a knack for the football. So the field goal unit is out. It's a 56-yarder, and it is not even close. I think the Giants really wish they had a kicker like Zebediah Phoenix right about now. That was Matthew Wright who attempted the kick, and it's now 24-17 with about 7 minutes left to go as St. Clair goes backwards. The Eagles are now in shoe clock mode, but they have not ran it overly well here in the second half. It looked like James Bradbury was among the Giants in the backfield to make the play. 3rd and 12. Hurts misfires incomplete, trying to get it to Devontae Smith. So that'll force a punt. The Giants get it back with about 6 minutes to go. 2nd and 7. From the 7 after a phenomenal punt by Jack Fox. Good run by Saquon Barkley. He gets it to the 19, so that'll push the Giants out of safety territory, and now they can actually start to move down the field. 3rd and 1 now at the 40. 4.5 minutes to go. Barkley has wide open room up the middle, breaking tackles, gets another first down, nearing 100 yards. Barkley really struggled in the first half, but has picked it up in a big way here in the second half, with the Eagles putting less attention on the run game. The Giants keep giving him the rock, and it keeps working out. 13 more yards for Saquon Barkley, who brings it to the 33. Very next play, it's a first down, just under 3 minutes to go. Cortez looking to throw it, and he will find Evan Engram. Another nice play for Engram. He's had a pretty good game in this one, and the Giants bring it in the red zone as we reach the 2-minute warning. The Eagles lead by 7, but New York is marching on the doorstep as it is a 3rd down and 3. Maybe the biggest play of the game. Cortez looking to throw it. Under some pressure, throws it away. Actually, it was nearly intercepted by Joko Onwosu, but he wasn't able to keep both feet in bounds, and that'll lead to a 4th and 3. The Giants obviously going to go for it. Cortez under pressure, heaves it up, it's picked off. Deshaun Elliott with the interception. He probably should have stayed in the end zone, so now the Eagles get it at the 1. Boneheaded choice there by Elliott, but nonetheless, a turnover is a turnover, and the Eagles need to get a first down here to end it. 3rd and 6, handoff for Tazewell Hubbard, tries to get fancy, and it backfires. The Giants get the stop. I think Hubbard was expecting the defender to be in front of him. He wasn't expecting such a clear lane. Jack Fox with a high punt, caught by Mecole Hardman at the 48-yard line. That is really good field position for Anthony Cortez and company. A great chance for him to drive down the field and try to win this game, or I guess tie the game for the Giants. They don't have any timeouts, but I think a minute and a half is more than enough. Cortez on first down, scrambling with it, just running backwards, somehow avoids the sack, but it's dropped. We were waiting for the inevitable Evan Engram drop. Cortez pretty much had to go Houdini mode on that play. Second down now. Cortez heaves up a prayer. It is picked off. Ball game over. Nehemiah Richardson with the interception to ice the dagger. Nehemiah Richardson had one of his not-so-good games on the year, but it doesn't really matter as the Philadelphia Eagles are going to pull off the victory 24-17 over their former offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, who, of course, is now the head coach of the Giants. New York dominated this game early on offense. They scored 17 points within the first quarter and a half, and then their offense just wasn't good anymore. We scored 17 unanswered points. We had the big touchdown at the end of the first half, and our defense held it down in the second half. The Eagles now have double-digit wins for the first time in this series as we improve to 10-3. This was a very weird game in the sense that we really struggled early, and then the Giants, after really playing well, just hit the wall. Anthony Cortez III, I thought, played very well. I don't want to blame him for the 2 interceptions because he kind of just had to heat those up late in the game. Jalen Hurts was also very good. We didn't ask Hurts to do a whole lot, but I thought he played pretty well, so both quarterbacks were pretty good. The Giants ran the ball pretty well in the second half. Saquon Barkley started slow, picked it up. Our run game, not as good. Quite a few standout receivers on both teams. Mecole Hardman, Evan Ingram, Devontae Smith, Rosemont St. Clair, among others. And then the defense started off very poorly and was great in the second half. We had a couple big interceptions along with multiple sacks and, of course, the field goal by Zebediah Phoenix. So as we talk with Jason Kelsey, can't take any wins for granted in this league. That is absolutely true. A win is a win, regardless of how you get it. Even if this game wasn't pretty in the first half, we did play well down the stretch. But we do have 2 new injuries, and they are significant. Lane Johnson, broken ribs, out for 5 weeks. Tykeem Keon, broken ribs, out for 4 weeks. Keep in mind, I have not simulated yet, so those will all go down by 1. But both of those are huge injuries, 2 big-time starters to our offense. So we are now without 3 starting offensive linemen. With Lane Johnson injured, it'll be Ifo Nobo Jumbo Roko, who we acquired in the Jalen Reagor trade at the deadline with Kansas City, who will likely play right tackle. Devontae Smith got injured earlier in the season, so we kind of got an idea of what it would look like missing one of our alpha receivers. Somebody who's really going to have to step up is Chase Claypool. Ever since we acquired him in Week 8, he's done literally nothing. And now he's going to be the full-on number 2 receiver, and he's really going to have to play well these next 3 games with no Tykeem Keon in the lineup. I'm confident Devontae Smith will play very well, but we need Claypool to play well, Troy Dobbs, Dallas Goedert, Rosemont St. Clair. We need all those guys to step up here as we really hit the winding stretch on the season. I wouldn't be surprised if we clinch a playoff spot with a win in our next game against the Washington Commanders now, or the Washington Commies, as we will refer to them. We also have the New England Patriots coming up. I believe next episode will be a doubleheader, so we will play both of those games. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Peace out.